now. First of all, thank you each and every person in the room, like you guys came and attended this Metamorphosis 2022. This is going to be the biggest crypto gala of this year. And we would like to thank our sponsors, our attendees, our creators, and everybody who has taken bits and pieces of parts in making this Metamorphosis 2022 a live event. So, without further ado, I'll just introduce myself. I'm Neha, your host for the event, and we are going to start now. Okay. And in between, please feel free. If you have any issues, our crew members are there. You guys can come up to them and have a discussion if anything goes wrong. So, let's start. First thing first. Again, a very good morning and welcome here. We are starting off Metamorphosis 2022 right away, and just to begin the entire introduction session, I would like to ask Manu Naik to come on the stage. He is the marketing manager of Octaloop, and he is going to give you guys an introduction. Please come on the stage, Manu.
Very big team to you all. I am Manu Naik. I head Octaloop's marketing department. Welcome to Metamorphosis 2022. I've waited a while and say that we've been working on this event for quite some time. So can I please get a big round of applause for the entire Octaloop team? Yeah, speaking of things that I've been through a lot lately, we got crypto. When I first started writing this speech, I was going to talk about Lohar and the whole Luna investing thing in this section. And later I thought, okay, write about 3 hours capital. So later drafts included that. And then now, just yesterday I added in the whole part about the FTX development. Crypto has been through a lot lately. But that's the thing about crypto, right? It's always going through a lot. When I first met Anupam, Octaloop's founder, this company was a tiny little startup. We were just offering digital marketing services to exclusive clientele. And by exclusive clientele, I mean Anupam's friends and family. Over the years, we've worked up to build our portfolio of clients to include some of the most influential brands, including CoinMarketCap, Telegraph, today's sponsors with Casino and Colonials. But yeah, it looks nice, right? The Octaloop logo. I'm not saying it looks fantastic, but you should have seen how it looked before when I first joined. It was an absolute disaster. But for some reason, it held a special place in Anupam's heart. So, and I was hell-bent on destroying it because it was a terrible logo. So I asked him to imagine how it would look when we finally hosted our event after COVID, our physical event, first physical event. And how it would look in this nice big hall with all these wonderful people and having our logo on the screen. And we had our logo changed in under a week because we realized that was true. So, I want to give you a glimpse of what it could have looked like. This one's for Anupam, just in case he was wondering. But this was our old logo. And this is when we were working with exclusive clientele. And this is how it is today. So don't say that I did nothing for you. But yeah, Octaloop has grown. We disagree on a few things, but one thing Anupam and I agree on is that crypto is never boring. From the ICO rug pulls of 2017 to the NFT rug pulls last year, it's easy to be disheartened. This industry is constantly on the brink of collapse while also building the infrastructure for a decentralized financial future at the same time. And those of us who've been in the space for some time know that all of this is an inevitable part of how emerging technologies evolve. Where there's money to be made, money will be made. Not your keys, it's not your crypto, and there are countless examples to show for. I think we can all agree that the most valuable projects in crypto are the ones that really speak to the community. So when we set up Metamorphosis 2022, when we decided to host this, we knew it had to be an event that the community could love. As a community, as an industry, we need to set better standards for ourselves. And I hope this 2-day festival, crypto festival as we like to call it, sparks some debate. The only path forward is through iterated discussion and deliberation. The world has changed over the last 2 years. People are now more reliant on technology than ever before. And not entirely in the best way. A lot of the times we use technology just for the sake of it. Tweet me with hashtag MM22 if you agree. But sometimes technology can be breathtaking. And people may not understand the value of a technology, perhaps because their circumstances don't allow for it. But circumstances change. Wisdom is a trophy for an arduous journey through time. With every passing year, with every new solution, with every groundbreaking project, and every way that technology is used to prevent human suffering and oppression, we grow. So here's the becoming a wiser industry. Once again, I'd like to welcome all of you to Metamorphosis 2022. Let's evolve. Thank you.
It's quite some introduction, Manu. And see, the purpose over here for all of us to be at Metamorphosis 2022 is to introduce Web3 to Indian audience more on a larger scale and higher scale. So Metamorphosis will be benchmark for Web3 events in India. And speaking of Web3, it is called the democratization of the internet. And it is evolving, the internet is evolving. And the first sector to be hit for the potential world of finance. That's the first thing that comes in mind whenever we are talking about Web3. So without any further ado, we would like to introduce Mr. Prasanna Lohar, CEO of Blockstack, talking about the future of finances in Web3, and he's going to be here soon. And I would request everyone, you guys can go ahead, tweet about Metamorphosis, use the hashtag NN22, tag Octaloop. You already know the spelling, so please go ahead and tweet how your experiences are, and as well if you have any question, you guys can shoot there and we can bring it up discussion over here. And please come on stage, Mr. Prasanna. A big round of applause for him.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome to Metamorphosis 2022. Today I talk about how finances are going to change through Web3. So next in 20 minutes we'll talk a lot about what's really happening on the banking side, how the technology like blockchain and the other peripheral technologies in Web3 like AI, IoTs are going to change further. So let's look at what has really happened last 20 years, or every 20 years there will be always some two other things comes in our life. If you go back in 1995, rise of internet. If you go back in 2007-8, you'll see rise of Android and iOS. That is how we have seen a lot of innovations came in, and all these innovations are riding on some kind of a technology partnership for innovation, and the right set of a collaboration has always changed what we do, the way we talk, the way we communicate, the way you banking. So every 20 years will be something or the other things come. So by 2030, will be banking with the banks? Answer could be yes or no, right? So let's find out how we're gonna do banking in 2030. So this slide speaks about the industry revolution. So there are various industry revolutions which we have seen. 1, 2, 3. Primarily 1, 2, 3 are around the corporate world, countries, how they are really equipped with a lot of innovations into automobile manufacturing and so on. Industry 4.0 is all about people, it's all about experiences, it's all about how do we adopt internet and furthermore many other emerging technologies, right? So which has really changed the way we talk, the way we communicate. There are a lot of examples which we will see and we are utilizing day-to-day basis. Now this is the first ATM which was being launched in 1967 by Barclays Bank in London. And if I ask some of you, let's go to some another ATM which is getting launched in Bangalore, you would say this is not really a magic moment, but this was a magic moment back in 1967. And if you see, this is another example, right? So the banks on the vans. So today in the financial inclusion space, there are a lot of guidelines by Reserve Bank of India to have a mobile banking or a business correspondent kind of banking. But this was happened back in 1950s. So while we are looking at these kind of innovations, we have seen these kind of innovations also, right? Bitcoin came into our life with an attention that can we not have a better financial equilibrium while we had some losses like Lehman Brothers Bank and many other financial crises which we have seen in 2008. But since rise of Bitcoin 2009, since then today there must be around 16,000-17,000 plus cryptocurrencies. But we are not really sure how cryptocurrencies are going to be used for a financial ecosystem. Let's look at another innovation we have seen in 2018. when Facebook has launched Libra and they tried to be a parallel financial ecosystem, was welcomed by 30 stakeholders. Look at MasterCard, Visas, and many more. But further, this collaboration couldn't really gel well because of a lot of aspects considering governance, compliance, and so on. So that's very, very important aspect as far as the crypto industry goes, how we can really adopt it. Some countries are taking some actions or some kind of distractions to make a world, yeah, crypto is something next wave, but it's an unstoppable, crypto is unstoppable movement, but we need to see how this can have a better regulations, better directions, so that things like FTS or things like many more things which you have seen in the past do not appear, or if they are appearing, there has to be an ecosystem which can really help to move this whole movement again. We have seen demonetization in 2016, and we have seen almost 86% currency is being wiped out throughout the night and was converted into some different kind of currencies. So these are the things which we have seen. While we have seen this, there is a magic movement which is happening in 100 plus countries where we call it the central bank digital currency. We have our NPCI folk here. So I think recently NPCI announced they are coming up with India digital rupee or e-rupee. In that same context, a lot of collaboration happening on the worldwide, and I think this is some kind of a momentum which IMF, BIS kind of ecosystem will bring on for a riding blockchain kind of ecosystem. So I think I am looking at how CBDC will work cohesively with the stable coins or any other ethical cryptocurrencies to bring on a larger financial ecosystem or a financial inclusion worldwide, right? While we talk about how money has evolved, so today in era of cards, electronics money, furthermore maybe cryptocurrency and so on. Now look at these logos. These logos were the best logos. When they come up, these logos were the best logos. So look at some of the logos today, right? They are the best logos, but I'm not sure where they will sustain or not, right? We have a lot of examples. These are the best logos, but today we are seeing the examples of FTX and so on. Now the problem of these logos, they couldn't understand how compliance is moving, how regulations are moving, how customer is moving, and how new technologies are coming. And now look at these logos. These logos understand everything about customers today. And if you ask all of you all are the customers of these logos, for example, Google, Amazon, or Apple, or Facebook, or Meta, or you cannot live without WhatsApp and so on. So now look at the way things are happening. We have seen how banking has evolved last 20-25 in India. While we are talking about physical traditional banking model, which is like a branch model, it is still there. While we move from traditional, people have spoken a lot last 2-3 years on a digital banking model. I think during pandemic, we have seen a lot of innovations happen, and in a banking context, we could see API banking or analytics, big data, and so on. So while we are at crux today in 2022 between digital and intelligent banking, where AI ML is already becoming a part of a mainstream for a banking ecosystem. And while we talk about chatbots and blockchain, it's taking slowly they are coming to mainstream. So, and something which we are talking about autonomous banking. So autonomous banking, which is going to come tomorrow, which is like you enter in a bank branch, I know who has entered. You enter and come out of the bank branch, your transaction will be done. So this is something which will be right on technology like Metaverse, 5G, IoTs and so on. So today, while we talk about Web 2.0, which is primarily more or less around digital banking and intelligent banking, Web 3 will take you from intelligent banking to the autonomous banking. But there is a lot of things to be done. It has to be evolved furthermore. And what we are seeing, present banking, which is traditional, digital, intelligent, they are all interdependent. The same customer will be always doing traditional banking for some of the other services, but I think most of you millennials may not have visited a bank branch, but at the same time would like to do many more transactions or many more things on a digital or intelligent banking. UPI, Aadhaar, DigiLocker, you talk about PCR, account aggregator, these are all those ecosystems India is coming up to really accelerate this kind of a momentum. So today, most of the banks in worldwide are looking for these kind of things. Primarily, just to, in a nutshell, what they are looking for: better security, better compliance, less of operation, less of more of a cost saving, having a right digital culture. How do we have a better customer onboarding, customer engagement, customer services? There are a lot of operational processes happen in a bank which can be really evolved as a smart automations with the help of technology like blockchain, AI, ML. So when you look at all these symbols, right, today banking needs lot of Web3, right? So today banking need AI, today banking will need blockchain, but it is ultimate how do we really bring on the right use cases. Tomorrow, today we may say crypto is unstoppable, but bring on that right use case through crypto for a citizen who is living around. So that is what banks are looking at with a better regulation. How can we really do a better evolution? Example, if you are a customer of a bank and would you like to be part of and whenever you remember, if you have to open a savings account in a bank, it takes 5,000 to 10,000 rupees. And you say, I'm not happy with the bank. What happens? You go to another bank, again that bank has to sustain you with that additional cost. Likewise, some of you must be having 3 to 4, 5 accounts, right? Now imagine if you are opening a bank account today with, say, example, DCB bank, and that KYC is available, that complete record of the KYC is available in secure way on the same chain with the HDFC bank, and if you are unhappy with the DCB, you go to the HDFC, provide your decentralized KYC number, your KYC is available there. That is how you can save INRs of the things with the one single use case of a blockchain, right? That is how you can see same ecosystem can be helpful for insurance or many more other regulators, because you are the same customer who is going to use the same Aadhaar or the same DigiLocker or same UPI or same account aggregator tomorrow. So this is one example how blockchain today, without blockchain, how much we are doing operational overheads, and with blockchain, centralized DKYC, how it can be helpful. It may be a concept, but MITI and IIT Bhilai, CDAC are working on this use case along with the 11 banks. So while we speak a lot about internet has picked up from 1995 with a lot of these use cases which you see. There are a lot of people, a lot of different set of generations always have a different need from a same bank. So maybe some of you may say that I will not do the bank branch, but some of the traditional customers would like to go and visit that brick and mortar. Internet is rising. Almost half of the population of the world is on the internet. Every organization today is looking at how they can move from non-digital to the extreme digital. What is extreme digital? Example, like I have entered in the Amazon Go shopping mall and I come out with all the things, everything happened. I enter in the bank branch, they know who has entered, what's his bank balance, what is his financial stability, what is that he is needing for a next level of a financial investment. So everything goes autonomous or intelligent way of a banking, the way I have shown. That is called as the extreme digital. Now look at where is your organization. As a bank or as an individual, some of you must be startup founders, look at how you are serving your customers. Bank model is changing from traditional to online, and if you see this slide, it talks about a lot of communication. And some of you must have used keyboards or mouse way back in 20s, right? And maybe joysticks also. But today, some of the people sitting here, if you tell them, please use iPad with a keyboard, or there are some instrument use a keyboard, so I think they will say no. Now, movement is, or the interfaces change from those keyboards to the QWERTY pads to the voice, touch. Maybe tomorrow it's going to be a facial based or gesture based, that kind of a pattern. So while this slide, it talks a lot about how communications are going to change, how interfaces are going to change. Today we may talk about Web 2.0, and tomorrow we may talk about a metaverse. Metaverse is going to be part of that era, right? Intuitive interactions, invisible banking or invisible financial. So while we talk about financial experiences are going to be very, very different in the next 10 years. So while today we sit here 2022, are we good enough? What is that we have done so far? So many things we have done as part of the RP. We are not good enough. That is where a lot of frauds are happening, right? So let's look at P2P, peer-to-peer banking, or every card you use on internet, you may not sure if the particular card data will be available in the dark web. So there are a lot of challenges. You might be receiving a lot of this kind of SMSs, right? Fraudulent SMSs, OTP frauds. So today we are living in the internet era. But in this internet era, your bank, your health organization, your government always look at who is my consumer. Is he really worthy or is he like a Vijay Mallya, right? But at the same time, these customers look at is he really good bank or some bank is going down. So trust deficit or a trust need is there on the both the sides. When we say trust deficit need is there on the both the sides, somebody who is providing services, somebody who is accepting services, there comes this technology so-called blockchain, which is an integral part of a Web3, says that I will provide you every other thing which will improve productivity. It will allow rapidly simplified collaboration. It will reduce down the cost. It will reduce the manual work. So that's the magic about blockchain, where what banks are looking for, banks are today looking for a data integrity traceability. If you look at every every data point here. And if you really see what are frauds are happening in the Indian banking ecosystem, you will be able to touch upon why I am saying this. Banks are looking at a better KYC AML, because so that we should not have a people like Nino Modi, Vijay Mandal, and so many NBA kind of customers. Tamper-proof data audit, which is a need of Reserve Bank of India. Operations automation. Today, banks are sitting on a huge number of reconciliation settlement. This is what they have created since last 50 years. But today, the way cryptocurrencies operate without any reconciliation settlement, and if you see tomorrow's CBDC, which will ride on the same architecture, and will be wow movement without any component settlement. Looking at how we will really come up with the right processes, regulation compliances where a lot of countries and the governments are really looking at. So these are the today's need of banks. And while if you look at this particular slide where, say example, gentleman does a transaction on Flipkart or on a particular POS or on a M-POS. So he uses the card or a mobile phone or UPI, right? And at the end of the day, what happens is transaction routes from that acquiring merchant where you are doing transactions, say example on Flipkart, transaction will go to its bank, say example HDFC. And from there it will go to an intermediary or a trusted association, so-called Visa or MasterCard. Now these are those companies who are creating a trust between all the banks. The transaction happening on a merchant, it is realized as a payment to your bank through this network. And look at this network is full of so many servers, so many processes. They have to undergo PCP, disaster recovery, a lot of things they have done. And if transaction doesn't happen, then additional dispute. You may need to have to call the contact center. And there is an additional reconciliation settlement. Now look at this slide. There is no need of settlement. There is no need of reconciliation. Hypothetically, this is a concept. Maybe for a blockchain-based complete bank, where some of the companies in Singapore they are providing this kind of a futuristic banking solution, but it will evolve. Banks will not go and say let's completely change the way we have done last 50 years. They will eventually do something, some innovations into reconciliation, some innovation to some or the other area, but eventually next years all banking will be a smart banking, right? It is just like a instant settlement, no branches, complete digital payment, less of a cost and so on. So with blockchain or Web3, what is that we achieve? We achieve trust, we achieve programmable smart contract, we achieve better security, we achieve multi-party trust need where banks today do a lot of integrations with the multiple fintechs. They use eKYCs, Aadhaar from multiple hubs, and we see a lot of frauds are happening. So with blockchain coming into picture, zero operations, no or rather less of a fraud, this is what something we can achieve. So primarily what I want to say that blockchain is a path-breaking technology. Don't expect that everything will happen overnight. It's a foundation technology and it will really evolve, right? And the way it is evolving, we'll have a lot of use cases based upon a blockchain. The way we see since rise of Bitcoin, we have seen layer 1, layer 2, so many other protocols, lot of research is happening. It's opportunity for you guys come together, collaborate and bring the right case of use cases. Yeah. So while I have some more slides, today we are trust of some financial disruptions. We have heard about Bitcoins, those 60-70,000 plus cryptocurrencies. We have heard about various stable coins, and we have heard about NFTs or Metaverse or DAOs or DeFi's are changing the ecosystems. Or we are talking about the role of banking international settlement. Just go and see what they do across all the world, and at the same time we are looking at a next story of India, right? Which is a digital rupee. We have seen UPI was a path-breaking ecosystem last almost 6 to 7 years, and we will see CBDC by India will be a path-breaking ecosystem for a world to watch. So future of finance is going to be very, very beautiful. Decentralized KYC, cross-border payment, reporting of fraud from one bank to another. Typically takes 45 days. It come down to the 0 day if you bring on a blockchain. It's not only wow experience on a app side, on a variable side, or on a interface side. We need to look at how do we really bring on innovations and across interface, integrations, and the backend also. So Web3 comes with the blockchain, AI. There are a lot of slides. I think this slide will be available through organizers. In interest of time, I can say that the way we have seen banking today riding on a lot of a manual process, next 10 years we'll have a different kind of a banking. Banks will be in the backend providing all the APIs and all the experiences will be delivered by the partners. So that's how we look at how we fuel or refuel the battery tomorrow. And certainly there are a lot of use cases we will see with the metaverse coming into picture, or NFTs are coming to picture, tokenized is coming to picture. As a bank, we are working with various stakeholders in the ecosystem. I think what is that needed here onwards to bring the right set of collaboration with all the partners? What is that needed for every organization to look at the 5 aspects? People. How do you reskill people internally? Look at those processes which are manual, how you can transform it for Web3. Which are those peripheral technologies of Web3 to look at it? Which are those regulations, compliances for you to come and really create the right use cases, although with the blockchain, crypto and so on. Finally, talk to your customer, what they need. That is how we can see what is the futuristic banking experience we are going to bring on. So thank you so much, Metamorphosis and the organizing team, for bringing me here for this. Thank you so much.